Okay, welcome, and thank you all for joining our session today. Today we're talking about creating virtual experiences and how to generate additional passive income through digital travel. So I'd like to introduce our presenter today, Lance Zoll. He's the CEO and founder of Junket. Lance also owns and operates various walking and driving tours across the United States and created Junket to enhance the way we experience the world around us. Throughout the presentation, if you have any questions, please go ahead and place those in the Q&A box on the right-hand side, and we will open it up to questions with the team for questions and answers at the end. So with that, I'll go ahead and hand it over to Lance to take us through the presentation.
Hey, thank you for having me. Thanks for taking the time to be on this call. And the way we're going to approach this webinar is going to give you a brief background on myself and why we created Junket. Then we're going to talk a little bit about what the platform does, why it has value to you, not just now during COVID-19, but also in the future. Uh, we're going to do a brief demonstration so that you can see the platform, see how it works. And then after the presentation, we'll do a Q&A. So thanks so much for taking the time on this call. I started out in grad school. I created a food tour because I was going to school in a tourist area, and I would have visitors constantly ask me for recommendations on where they should eat. So I decided, how can I graduate early, and how can I do something with this demand? So I decided to take a class for starting a business, and I used that to start a food tour. It helped me get the credits that I needed to graduate early, and it created a food tour, which was great. I learned a lot doing that. So that was my first entry into the tour business. And from there, I launched a couple of other different types of tour businesses. And one day I had an idea where I thought, well, what if we had an app that could help people give tours? Sometimes the weather doesn't accommodate. Why do tours have to only be done by a person? Why do they only have to be done at a specific time, at a specific place? Why can't there be an app for that? And so that's ultimately what led down the path to creating Junket that we have today. So I'm going to share my screen, and that way you can follow the slide deck here. So here we go. Minimize the screen a little bit. All right. So so here we have, it takes us to Junket. WeJunket.com is our website. Now, I just want to add that we are working as quickly as we can to add the rest of the features for Junket. Right now, the system currently works. You can get on here, register, you can create a tour right away. And then once you submit it, we approve it, then you can start selling that and generating revenue right now. So we may not have all of the bells and whistles that you might desire, that every person might want, but we do have some great features. It's very usable. It's designed with the user in mind, and it's something that I think you will enjoy. So right now we have, everybody is aware that COVID-19 has shut down the tourism businesses. It's hit the tour and travel industry very, very hard. And unfortunately, most tour operators aren't able to sell tickets. Not only have we had to give a lot of refunds, but we are also not able to operate and sell tickets. Part of that is because we don't want to have a lot of physical interaction, and or the governments have shut us down, and so we're unable to generate revenue. Even outside of COVID, traditionally can be many disruptions to your tour. The weather can disrupt the tour availability. You may be sold out. You may not have enough tour guides to meet your demand. You may have other issues with maybe only giving a tour on certain days of the week or certain times of the day. People these days want the flexibility to want what they want, when they want it, how they want it. Um, and so that's one of the benefits of the app, is that there are no constraints. It's open 24/7. And the other thing I think that's important to point out, you may not be leveraging technology right now, or you may have some misgivings about it, but the fact is that this technology is here and it's only going to be accelerating. So the future of tourism is going to incorporate more technology, I think, whether anybody likes it or not. And I think whether your competitor does it or whether you do it, having a virtual tour available is going to be very important. I wouldn't say as important as having a website, but I think that is going to be more critical as we move in to the future. Um, and so this is where the values of Junket come into play. So with Junket, your customer can take the tour anytime, any place. So you're now able to sell to more people than you were selling before because you're not restricted to a specific time or place where they can take the tour. So what that means is that you can create your experience for New York City, like you see in the example. Um, but people don't only have to be in New York City to take it. They could be across the country in California, and they could check out the ghost stories in New York City. So you can sell your experience now to people who are anywhere. So you're not limited to what you've been limited to, which is only selling it to people that happen to be physically there in the city. So now your market size isn't just that small city. Now your market is national or international. I think that is very important, and any business should want to expand their customer base, and that's exactly what this allows you to do. Um, Now, the term virtual tour is very, very broad, and I don't think a lot of people really understand that how broad that is and what that means. A virtual tour right now could be somebody taking videos of them speaking, uploaded on YouTube, and they could call that a virtual tour. They could walk around with Facebook on their phone and Facebook Live and give a virtual tour. What Junket has is we like to call it a virtual experience, where it is something that somebody can take from their living room, but it's as something that somebody can take to enhance the experience of the physical world. So they would actually be able to walk outside and visit the locations or the points of interest along the tour, and the content would automatically pop up and display for them. So this is basically it turns the phone into a tour guide, and that's great because people who want to take a physical tour, they're going to take a physical tour anyway. They're not going to look at a digital tour and say, "Oh, this tour is available on an app. I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to take the physical tour because I can take it on the app." No, there's still people who want to do the physical tour are still going to take the physical tour. But what the app does is it allows you to market and sell to a number of different people who maybe they want to take their time, or they're uncertain, or they're the last minute purchases. Um, the app gives you more freedom and flexibility to sell to more people. You're not always going to get people at that specific time slot that you're open, and a lot of people change their mind. Maybe they want to book your tour, but your tour is already over for the day. Well, now they can download the app. You can direct them to the app. Maybe the weather is horrible. Well, you can direct your customers, or a customer that maybe missed the tour time, to download the app and take the app version of the tour. So it's a great stopgap action to help supplement your physical walking tours. And keep in mind that the creativity is your limit. So you do not have to create a tour that is only limited to what you're already doing right now. This is a platform where you can cross promote, and you can even promote this to people who are taking your physical walking tour. You can promote the ability to take a tour through the Junket app, and that could be a totally different experience than what your walking tour does, or it could lead into it. It could connect to it. So it doesn't have to be the same thing. And that's another nice thing, is that it allows you to experiment with different experiences, plot it out, plan it out. So it doesn't have to be the same thing as what you're doing physically in person. It could be something that is in addition to it and complements it. So I want to stress that the importance of this platform is that you have the flexibility and freedom to do whatever your creative mind can come up with. Um, and so this platform gives you that flexibility. So the experiences can be set. You can set your own price for what you want to sell these at, and they're downloaded on iOS and Android. And the design is meant to be very user centric, to make it easy to navigate from one point to another. The content that goes into this, we'll go into it in a little bit, but it's meant to be focused on the user. So in the same respect that your tours and experiences are only as good as you're able to deliver to your customers, you want them to have a great time. You want them to enjoy what they're doing. They need to feel like they're receiving value out of what you're selling. In the same way, we want the app and the experience inside the app to be very smooth, user friendly, and easy to navigate through the stops. So I'm going to go a little bit more into that, but there's also no management for this. So once you create it, you post it online, it's there. It doesn't require a lot of management. You can update the stops and the information and the images as often as you want, but it's very hands off once it's created. So the features that we have, it compiles video, audio, text, and images, compiles that all together. And my favorite touch is recording an image where a tour guide or somebody is speaking about the location. The great thing is you don't have to just same thing with pictures. You don't have to hire a professional photographer or a professional videographer or even a voiceover to create these. You can do it yourself. If you have your iPhone, your Android phone, just do a video of you talking on location or have a friend record you. It's nice if people can watch a video while you're there on location at that place versus recording from your house. So I would recommend go out there and record giving stories at each of the stops along the way and use that as your video for your experience. And I would just say match your video to the mood of the tour. If it's an upbeat, exciting activity, make it upbeat and exciting. If it's a food tour, do a video where you walk in the restaurant and you show the food. You can also upsell, so you can provide links that go back to your website and any of the stops or the main information for the junket. If I'm doing a food tour and I'm going into a restaurant, I can provide recommended items or drinks that they could order. I could provide a link to their menu. You can use this as an opportunity to upsell and really tell a story. And video is the best way to tell a story, and that's why if you can use that video and interacting with other people, the people who take that junket are going to have a much better time. So we really want everything to be built and focused around the experience of that user. We want them to have a great time. That's what it's all about. And it's the same thing for physical tour operators. You want your customers, your guests to have a great time. You can also create routes. You can manually create routes. A feature that we are rolling out very soon is it will automatically generate apps right now. So that's what the Android app does. But we realize that you may have a reason to make people walk a different way. So that is something that we will be adding. But right now we have a very easy way to create routes, which I'll go over in a little bit. We have the ability to integrate these tours onto your website or your Facebook page. And we also have leaderboards and prizes. So when somebody completes a junket and physically visits a junket, they receive a point for each place that they visit. And then if they complete enough points, they can earn a trophy or a prize. And I'll go over that in a little bit detail when I demo the platform. And then we have some analytic data. So um, we share with you the downloads that you get. You can see any revenue that you earned. So the new feature that we have is called the Junket Adventure. Now, the Junket Adventure is a gamified version of a tour. So when you think of a traditional tour experience, it's very one dimensional. You go to one stop, you listen to the person talk. You go to the next stop, you listen to them talk. With the adventures, the user is placed into a storyline that requires them to make decisions based on the information that they're given. And each decision, if you see on the right hand of the screen, there's A, B, C, and D. Each decision will take that person to a different location on the map. So I might choose A, somebody else might choose B. A is going to take me down the street to the left. B is going to take somebody in a completely different direction. But at the end, we're going to finish at the same finishing spot. And that's what makes it what makes it a little bit more different and fun is because everybody's experience is going to be different based on the decisions that they make. It can be a fun game that you play competitively, or it can be a group game where groups play against one another. But it's basically gamifying the tour experience. And so now I want to get into the demonstration of the platform and how that works. So I'll go ahead and pull up our PowerPoint here to exit the screen here. So this is our content management system. Once you log on, you'll see the list of your experiences. Here in the bottom left, what you'll find is information on how to create an experience. So this is a tutorial video showing you how to create a junket, and this video tells you how to create an adventure. We have a list of FAQs and some guide to really help you determine how to create whatever it is that you want to create. So I'm just going to pull up an example here. One location. You can customize your map pins here at top. So the first thing that you want to populate is the main information for your junket. So you're going to want to populate the information, the main image, the map pin. You don't have to do a custom map pin, but it affords a great deal of customization. This is a link where you can see if it's live or not. After you create your junket, you're going to want to submit it. There will be a button where you can submit that, and then our review team will take a look at that, and then we will authorize that to go live. Um, Add your description, the cost. You can make these either free for anybody to take and enjoy, or you can associate a price with that. Now, the price is actually being updated where you'll be able to select currency if you are international. So that change is coming this week. You can indicate the type of junket it is. We do offer indoor junkets. It's basically the same thing. It only doesn't have a map. It uses the list mode. You can pinpoint your location. You can attach social media links with it. You can record audio directly from your computer. So that's another nice aspect of this. You press the record button, and the audio will be associated with that stop. And then after you record, you press save, and then it saves that. You can also add background audio, so that can set the mood. So maybe I want some generic classical music playing in the background. Maybe it's a scary type activity, and I want to upload some scary music to set the tone, set the mood. That has some scary sounds kind of jumping out at you, and then I can also integrate video through use of YouTube links. So if I'm talking about my story, I can upload it to YouTube, and then I can put the link right here, and then people can watch the video. And this is a trophy. So the trophy is great for people who complete your experience. Now, this is a little bit of a marketing aspect here that of course it's optional, but the trophy, you can customize the trophy image. You might use a logo of your business. You can have it appear however you like. And once somebody completes the experience or enough to earn the trophy, which currently is 80% of a walking tour, or for an adventure, it's once they finish their adventure quick enough, you can input the prize details. What are they getting? Where are they getting it? How are they redeeming it? You can add a time limit. Well, you have 24 hours to redeem this. So you set the time limit in hours here, and then you put the details of how they can redeem their prize and any additional instructions. So generally, it can be an address, it can be a URL link. Maybe the prize for taking the junket that you created is that they get a discount to take your physical walking tour. Maybe it's going to a local coffee shop to get a discount on a coffee, and then now you have that local business that has skin in the game, and now they're willing to promote your digital junket. So these are tools, additional tools that you can use to make it a little bit more fun for people to take an experience. And now we're going to go into and look at some of the stops. So we'll go ahead and look at a stop here. And so the stop is very similar, except it doesn't have the generic information. Um, you upload an image. We have image requirements listed to make it easy. We do want there to be quality images, and there is minimum quality requirements. We want to make sure that anybody that uses the app and goes through the experience has a great time, but we also want to make sure that we set everybody up for success. So you can set the location here on the map. You can also move your location, click and drag it wherever you'd like. So it gives you a lot of freedom and flexibility. Um, you can add an address, set the trigger radius. So what you'll notice is a lot of these blue circles around the locations, that is the trigger radius. So that communicates with the app so that you can determine how far somebody has to be away from your stop before it will stop playing automatically. So it triggers using GPS, and you can either set that or you can use the default. The default is 10 meters. So you can control when it activates and where it activates. Again, giving you that freedom and flexibility to create the experience as you see fit. And you can record audio directly from your computer. You don't have to record somewhere else, send the file, upload it. It's very easy. You can add several different images as well. So you can use up to 4 images per stop. And again, you can add YouTube video. So very simple to create a stop. And we've got, here we've got the route line. And so you can manipulate the route line by clicking on some of these white circles on the line and moving them around as you want. Um, and um, and you can also draw the route as you like. So if I want to draw the route, I can just I can add to it, and it will continue moving for me. So it's very easy to create a route, very easy to create points and stops. If I want to create a new stop, I can either click on add point in the bottom left here, or I can go to add stop in the top right. So that is our platform. And now I'm going to move back to our pitch deck. So now I want to go into a little bit of the value and pricing. So I think it's important to note that the junket provides enhances, not replaces, the physical tour experience. And you can expand your offering and test new experiences with this. And this is available for free to anybody. So we do have some pricing plans that involve a subscription for additional features. But right now, anybody can start and begin with this immediately. You can always upgrade. You can also add more junkets. So if you're on the free plan for a junket, and you want to add another junket, you can add another junket. You can't add unlimited junkets. So there is a price for adding more junkets. But right now, the free plan will allow you to do video, images, all the basic information. It won't allow you to do prizes and trophies and adventures. The adventures, Facebook integration, website integration, that's only available in the business plan. So if you go to WeJunket.com/pricing, you have our initial pricing model, which is going to be updated, but the free model is still there. But that lists all the features. And actually we have a flyer that would be easier. The flyer with the new pricing that came out this morning. I can share it with you, so that can be in the follow-up email as well. We wanted to make it so that this was free for everybody to go out and use and start selling their junkets on right now, given the circumstances. And we want to be a platform for everybody to use. We want to be a good partner with all of our operators. So um, an example of one of the junkets before Junket became Junket was with iTour Mobile, and that was really to test this platform. And the one tour with no marketing, it sold, became the number 64 in paid education apps on the iTunes store, and it sold for $7.99 per. And so it did pretty well, and there was no marketing involved with that. And we currently incorporate some of these junket and augmented activities um, on some of the tours that we hold right now. So it does get results, it does sell, and it's been a really, really useful tool. And to get started, you can visit wejunket.com/business. We have our old pricing model up on our website right now, but the free model is still there. It will still be there. It's not going anywhere. We have FAQ and plenty of video tutorials to help you get started. And if you have any questions, please email contact@wejunket.com. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much. And at this point, I think we can open it up to a Q&A, and answer some of these questions.